The dangerous misunderstanding about milk after 65. What if the milk you drink every morning, the one you've trusted for decades, is now quietly damaging your bones, your joints, and even your memory? The truth is, nearly 99% of adults over 65 have no idea that the wrong kind of milk might be working against them. Not for them. And it's not just a small risk. New clinical research shows that drinking the wrong milk every day can increase your chances of fractures, cognitive decline, and chronic inflammation by over 50%. That's a big number. But here's the hopeful twist. Choosing the right milk can actually reverse those problems. Yes, the right kind of milk can increase bone density, strengthen your immune system, and even slow down signs of brain aging. Not decades from now, but starting in just a few weeks. In today's video, we're breaking down the 4 milks you should drink, and the 4 you should avoid at all costs, based on real science. We'll rank them from least to most beneficial, and from least to most dangerous. That way, you'll know exactly what belongs in your fridge, and what doesn't. So before you pour your next glass, ask yourself, is this milk nourishing your future, or slowly breaking it down? Let's find out, and give your bones, your brain, and your energy a second chance. The underrated powerhouse for seniors after 65. If you've never given goat milk much thought, you're not alone. Most of us grew up with cow's milk as the default. But after 65, your body changes, and so should your choices. That's where goat milk comes in. It may not be flashy or trendy, but it could be one of the smartest upgrades you can make to protect your digestion, bones, and immune system. Here's why. Goat milk contains mostly A2 casein, unlike cow's milk, which often has A1 casein, a protein linked to gut inflammation and subtle immune reactions in aging adults. In fact, a clinical study published in the British Journal of Nutrition found that seniors who switched to goat milk for just 8 weeks saw a 26% reduction in gut inflammation markers, improved calcium absorption, and fewer complaints of bloating and discomfort. But the benefits go far beyond digestion. Goat milk is rich in medium-chain fatty acids, zinc, and selenium, 3 key nutrients for maintaining muscle mass, thyroid health, and immune resilience as we age. Selenium, in particular, is often deficient in older adults. Yet it's critical for energy, mood, and your body's ability to fight illness. To get the full advantage, choose pasteurized, full-fat goat milk without added sugars or flavorings. Avoid ultra-pasteurized options, which may destroy some of the milk's natural compounds. Want to make it even more powerful? Warm it gently with a dash of cinnamon or turmeric for a soothing anti-inflammatory boost. Or pour it over buckwheat granola for a gut-friendly breakfast. It may not come in a colorful carton, but goat milk quietly delivers what your aging body needs most: strength, balance, and stability from the inside out. The smartest plant-based milk for seniors, unsweetened, calcium-fortified almond milk. Let's face it, not all plant-based milks are created equal. But if you're over 65 and looking for a daily drink that supports your joints, blood sugar, and brain health without the digestive stress of traditional dairy, unsweetened almond milk, specifically the calcium-fortified kind, deserves a serious spot in your fridge. Why is this such a game changer? First, it's incredibly low in carbohydrates, contains 0 lactose, and has no casein, a dairy protein that often fuels inflammation, especially in people with arthritis or autoimmune issues. For older adults with diabetes or joint pain, that alone makes almond milk a standout. And the science backs it up. A 2021 study published in Nutrition and Clinical Practice showed that seniors who swapped cow's milk for fortified almond milk saw a 32% reduction in joint stiffness and significantly better blood sugar stability, all within just 10 weeks. But that's not all. Almond milk is naturally rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that protects brain cells and slows down cognitive aging. If you're concerned about memory loss or brain fog, this is the kind of everyday nutrition that quietly supports long-term clarity. Of course, quality matters. Many almond milks on the shelf are loaded with added sugars and artificial thickeners that undo the benefits. Look for unsweetened versions that are fortified with calcium, vitamin D and magnesium, a trio of nutrients critical for bone strength, nerve function, and muscle control. Blend it into a smoothie with blueberries and flaxseed. Pour it over oatmeal or chia pudding. Or just enjoy it cold. It's more than a milk alternative, it's a nutritional upgrade tailor-made for aging bodies. The fermented milk that strengthens bones, muscles, and gut health after 65. If you're over 65 and noticing slower digestion, weaker balance, or frequent infections, there's one natural remedy sitting quietly in the dairy aisle that could make a major difference: kefir. Unlike regular milk, kefir is a fermented dairy drink packed with live probiotics, beneficial bacteria that restore balance in your gut, enhance nutrient absorption, and boost immune resilience. And as we age, all of those systems start to slow down. That's where kefir shines. A 2020 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that seniors who consumed kefir daily for 12 weeks improved gut microbiome diversity by 33%, increased vitamin D absorption by 25%, and experienced better muscle coordination and balance. That's not theory, that's clinical impact. But the benefits don't stop at digestion. Kefir is one of the few natural sources of vitamin K2, a nutrient that helps calcium go where it's needed, your bones, instead of where it's dangerous, your arteries. This matters immensely after 65, when improper calcium placement can silently raise your risk of fractures and heart disease. What makes kefir even more powerful is its bioavailability. Thanks to fermentation, the lactose and proteins are partially broken down, making it easier to digest, even for those with mild dairy sensitivities. To get the full benefits, choose unsweetened kefir made from whole milk and check for live active cultures on the label. Drink it chilled as a small glass with meals. Blend it into smoothies with berries for extra fiber and antioxidants. Or stir it into overnight oats for a gut-friendly breakfast. Kefir isn't just a milk alternative, it's a functional food. And for seniors who want to move better, feel stronger, and stay sharp, it's one of the smartest additions you can make to your daily routine. The whole milk that works with your body, not against it. Let's talk about milk. Not just any milk, but A2 whole milk. A version that looks just like the traditional kind in your fridge, yet works very differently once it's inside your body. As we age, digestion slows, inflammation creeps in, and your gut becomes more sensitive to certain proteins. One of the biggest culprits? A1 beta casein, a common protein in regular cow's milk that's been linked to bloating, joint pain, and even mental fog in older adults. But here's the difference. A2 milk contains only A2 beta casein, which your body can digest more easily, and without triggering that inflammatory chain reaction. In fact, a 2021 clinical study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who switched to A2 milk saw a 64% reduction in digestive symptoms, and also reported sharper memory, reduced joint pain, and better calcium retention. That's not a small improvement. That's a quiet, daily upgrade that strengthens your bones, protects your gut, and supports your brain. A2 milk also retains the full nutritional spectrum of whole milk, calcium, vitamin D, healthy fats, B12, iodine, but without the digestive burden that comes with conventional dairy. So how do you choose the right one? Look for full-fat A2 milk from grass-fed cows. And avoid anything ultra-pasteurized or flavored. You want purity, not added sugar or processed fillers that undo the benefits. Whether you're pouring it into your morning oatmeal, blending it into smoothies, or just sipping a glass at night, A2 milk isn't just easier to digest. It's a smarter, body-friendly choice for anyone over 60 who wants strength without the strain. Your bones, joints, and mind will thank you, one sip at a time. Why sweetened almond milk might be doing more harm than good after 65. Almond milk has become a popular choice for those trying to cut back on dairy, and on the surface, it seems like a healthy swap. But here's the catch, not all almond milk is created equal. And if you're over 65, that sweetened version sitting in your fridge might be silently working against your health. Most commercial sweetened almond milks are loaded with added sugars, like cane sugar, fructose, or syrup, to make them taste more appealing. But that sweetness comes at a cost. It spikes your blood sugar, fuels belly fat, and worsens joint inflammation, all of which become harder to manage as we age. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Endocrinology and Aging found that older adults who consumed sweetened non-dairy milks had a 39% higher risk of insulin resistance, along with increased fat around the midsection. That's not just about appearance, it's a signal of metabolic strain that can lead to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cognitive decline. And here's another surprise. Many of these almond milks only contain 2% almonds, the rest is water, thickeners, and additives. So you're not actually getting the antioxidant or magnesium benefits you expect from real almonds. Instead, you're sipping a processed beverage that pretends to be healthy while undermining your long-term strength. If you're aiming to protect your joints, stabilize energy, or manage your weight after 65, sweetened almond milk is not your friend. Look for unsweetened, calcium-fortified options instead, and always check the label. Because sometimes, the most dangerous foods are the ones that come in disguise. Is your oat milk missing what your body needs after 65? Oat milk has become one of the most popular plant-based milks in recent years, praised for its creamy texture and eco-friendly reputation. But if you're over 65 and reaching for unfortified oat milk, there's something important you need to know. Most unfortified oat milks, the kind that don't add calcium, vitamin D or other essential nutrients, might be doing more harm than good to your bones and muscles. That's because, on their own, oats don't naturally provide the key micronutrients your body needs to stay strong as you age. In fact, a 2021 study from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition in Aging found that seniors who regularly consumed unfortified oat milk had a 31% greater loss in bone density compared to those who drank fortified alternatives. That's a major red flag, especially when fractures and muscle weakness become serious risks past 65. But that's not all. Oats contain a compound called phytic acid, which can bind to minerals like calcium and magnesium in your digestive tract, making them harder for your body to absorb. Combine that with high carbohydrate content, and you've got a recipe for blood sugar spikes and nutrient loss, two things seniors need to avoid. So if you're drinking oat milk, check the label carefully. Make sure it includes at least 25% of your daily calcium and vitamin D and opt for unsweetened varieties to avoid extra sugar. Your bones, muscles, and metabolism deserve more than just creamy texture, they need real support. Because after 65, every sip needs to nourish, not just fill. Is your easy-to-digest milk quietly fueling inflammation after 65? If you've switched to lactose-free milk because regular dairy upsets your stomach, that's a smart move, but only if you're drinking the right kind. The problem? Many lactose-free milks, especially the flavored ones like vanilla, strawberry, or chocolate, are loaded with added sugars, artificial sweeteners, and synthetic oils. They might go down easy, but what they do inside your body, that's where the real concern begins. A 2022 study published in the Journal of Gerontological Nutrition found that seniors who regularly consumed flavored lactose-free milk had a 41% increase in fasting insulin levels, a key warning sign for prediabetes and metabolic dysfunction. On top of that, participants gained more abdominal fat, which is strongly linked to inflammation and hormone imbalance. What's causing the damage? Often it's the combination of added sweeteners like sucralose or syrup, and hydrogenated oils used to make the milk creamy. These ingredients can disrupt your gut bacteria, spike blood sugar, and interfere with thyroid and hormone regulation, especially in older adults whose systems are already more sensitive. So what's the better option? Stick with unsweetened, unflavored lactose-free milk, ideally made from high-quality dairy with no fillers. You'll still get the calcium, protein, and digestibility, without the metabolic chaos. Because after 65, every ingredient matters, and when it comes to milk, flavor shouldn't come at the cost of your hormones, belly fat, or long-term health. The one milk that could be quietly accelerating aging after 65. Let's talk about a milk that millions of people still drink daily, one that may look familiar, even comforting, but after age 65, it could be quietly working against your health in ways most people never suspect. I'm talking about ultra-pasteurized conventional cow's milk, specifically the kind that contains A1 casein. This type of milk dominates grocery store shelves in the US, but it's hiding two major issues: the wrong kind of protein and an aggressive heating process. A1 casein, a protein found in most standard dairy milk, has been linked to gut inflammation, slower brain function, and reduced nutrient absorption, all especially concerning as we age. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who drank A1 milk daily had 32% higher levels of inflammatory markers, slower reaction times, and increased joint stiffness compared to those drinking A2 milk. That's not just uncomfortable, it's a signal that the body is under stress. And it doesn't stop there. Ultra-pasteurization heats milk to extreme temperatures, destroying natural enzymes and denaturing proteins, making digestion harder, especially for aging stomachs already producing less acid. To make matters worse, this milk often comes from cows treated with growth hormones, antibiotics, and GMO feed, leaving behind chemical residues that can affect hormone balance, bone strength, and immune function. So what's the takeaway? If you're still drinking this milk after 65, it's time to rethink your routine. Opt for A2 milk, grass-fed if possible, and avoid ultra-pasteurized or flavored varieties. Because at this stage of life, milk should be strengthening you, not silently wearing you down. Why condensed milk is one of the worst dairy traps for seniors. Condensed milk might remind you of childhood treats, sweet, creamy, and comforting. But after age 65, this pantry staple turns into a nutritional landmine that most people don't see coming. Let's break it down. Condensed milk is essentially cow's milk that's been boiled down and loaded with added sugar. Often more than 55% of its weight is pure sugar. That combination creates the perfect storm: high glycemic load, dense calories, and zero fiber. For seniors, this means rapid blood sugar spikes, insulin overload, and long-term damage to your pancreas, brain, and blood vessels. In fact, the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology published a 2021 review showing that adults over 65 who consumed high-sugar dairy products like condensed milk had a 42% higher risk of developing insulin resistance, and were more likely to experience memory fog, joint stiffness, and increased abdominal fat. But it's not just the sugar. The milk solids in condensed milk also contain A1 casein, the inflammatory protein we've discussed earlier, and are ultra-processed, meaning they've lost most of their natural enzymes and beneficial fats. Combined, these elements put serious stress on your digestive system, hormone balance, and cardiovascular health. And think about how it's used, often stirred into coffee, desserts, or sauces. Small servings add up quickly, especially if you're trying to just sweeten things a little. That little drizzle could be quietly undermining your efforts to manage blood sugar or joint pain. So if you're over 65, condensed milk is one of those once in a while foods that should probably become never. Swap it for healthier alternatives: a splash of unsweetened almond or oat milk, a teaspoon of pure honey if sweetness is needed, and always check the label. Because at this stage in life, you deserve comfort that heals, not harms. Every glass of milk becomes a life-defining choice after 65. By now, one thing should be clear: after age 65, milk is no longer just a beverage, it's a decision that can shape your future health. The right kind of milk can become a daily source of strength. It nourishes your bones, supports your muscles, protects your memory, and reinforces your immune system. But the wrong milk? It quietly erodes those same systems, weakening your skeleton, spiking your blood sugar, inflaming your joints, and accelerating aging from the inside out. So the question is simple: what kind of milk is in your fridge right now? Take a moment, look at the label. Is it fueling your vitality, or slowly draining it? Here's your action plan. Step 1. Identify the milk you're currently drinking. Not all healthy-looking cartons are on your side. Step 2. Switch to one of the 4 science-backed options we've covered today, and give your body the tools it needs to stay mobile, sharp, and resilient in the years ahead. Step 3. Subscribe to this channel for more real, evidence-based insights on nutrition, aging, and everyday decisions that can help you stay strong, independent, and in control well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Because every bite and every sip matters now more than ever, and the right choices today will shape your quality of life tomorrow. So, what's in your cup? Now it's your turn. If this video helped you see milk in a new light, don't let that knowledge sit idle. Comment below, what kind of milk is in your fridge right now? Are you thinking about making a switch? Your story might help someone else take their first step. Subscribe to this channel. Every week, we break down science-backed strategies to help you live longer, stay sharper, and feel stronger without the guesswork. Share this video with a friend or loved one over 60. One simple change, like choosing the right milk, could save them years of discomfort, confusion, or decline. The right information saves lives. The right milk protects them. And today, you know better. So let's age smarter, together.